This book is hitting my ass, so I'm gonna move this. Sorry, I'm ready now. It was getting obnoxious. I was like, ow!
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Jam and Juseo. My name is Sam. Over there is Morgan. We're never going to figure this out.
Never.
We'll be 10 years down the road. We'll still not know where she is. And today we're going to be talking about episode 5 of... I almost said Criminal Minds because we were just talking about School 2017.
Woo-hoo. I almost said, well, in my mind, I said Radiant Office for some reason. I was like, Radiant? Oh, God, that's not right, Morgan.
No, episode 5, School 2017. There's way too many numbers going on, but Morgan, do you want to start us off because you had the first discussion topic?
Okay. My first discussion topic. By the way, if I'm looking down, my notes are down
She's
here.
always got notes. Like, it's a Bible. It's not even notes. It's a Bible.
Well, that's because I forget things so easily. Like, Sam will be like, we're going to do discussion videos at this time, this day. I'm like, what day is it? Who are you? Who am I? So I need notes to remember stuff. But
She also needs a secretary, too, so
yes.
putting that one out there.
But the first topic I want to talk about is I love how Eunho finds out that Taewoon is X, and she has the same reaction I did at that time, and she's like pretty much like, okay, so you're another copycat, right? Like, you're not the real X. And he's like, no, I am. Like, he's saying they're so cool, like, I'm X, and she's like, where's X? Like, where is he? It can't be you. It's obviously not you. But he's like, I hate copies. I even hate photocopies. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't understand.
Don't
Like,
know.
Taewoon, you just blurring things out. I don't understand. I also like how she was like, X is supposed to be handsome, have good grades, and fight for the students. And Taewoon was like, dude, I am all of that. And she's like, I don't think so. I don't know why, but I feel like she's disappointed with who X was. And I'm like, I'm with her though, because I'm kind of this too, but don't tell me you didn't scream when he was like, when she was like, oh, I didn't see a scar on your on you. He's like, want me to take off my pants to show you? It's right here. And I was like, no.
I was like, I was like a seal basically. I was laughing and doing this the whole time. Because she's like, the scar is like on your side. And he's like, no, it's lower. Do you want to see? And like full on was like half unbuttoning his pants. I'm like, dude, no. But she's like freaking out.
She was
literally seal moment.
I was crying through it. I was like, oh my goodness. Also, I don't know, maybe it's because I wanted Taewoon to be a different type of character. I'm kind of disappointed that he's X in a way. I do like how she did take him to a comic store to look at comics, and he was like, I don't read comics. By the way, I have a comic right here because I was just reading it. That's how much of a nerd I am. But 2 seconds later, he was like reading a comic book, and also I love how she blackmails him into helping her with her jobs, and all they do is bicker, and I just love them together. What do you think, Sam?
I'm very happy with them. I'm very happy that like they have a really good chemistry together, and like it's not like he's starting to really really like her. You can kind of tell like when she was passing out the flyers and he's kind of staring at her and she's smiling and everything, that like K-drama slow-mo like she's pretty kind of angle, because they do it all the time. But yeah, no, I really like the chemistry, but I like that she's like, you're just making excuses to see me, huh? And like when she brought the chicken to him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I really like those two, and I was kind of hoping for her and Daehui like in the very beginning. But I like Taewoon better, and Taewoon was one of my favorite characters from the beginning anyway. So, even though you've already like claimed him.
No, I guys, I don't claim anyone, because I think one of the rules me and Sam had when we started this YouTube channel is that we're not allowed to claim anyone. So I don't claim him, but I really like his character. So can I claim him?
She claims him, like
yeah,
she
pretty much.
She lies.
I think the moment I fell in love with him though is when he went to go beat up her oppa because he thought that she was a prostitute, and I was just like, I love you. Okay, I'm done. What's the next topic you want to talk about?
Okay, so the next topic that I want to talk about, I have to pull up my list, is the students get their evaluations, or like they don't really get their evaluations, but they kind of like they do what they don't. They're being told that they're coming, and this is what they have so far. And I guess it's a big deal because it's kind of like your college resume, and your teachers like write updates and reports on you and stuff, and it tells them every contest you've won. And like the students are going to like full panic mode because they're like, all crap, it's hit the fan and like it's time to get moving. But the thing about it is like they're sophomores and they're already starting to talk about their senior year. So did I miss something in like the flow of high school? They still got another year and a half or
I
2.5 years to finish out school and get their kind of stuff together.
honestly, I have no clue. Like, I it sounds weird for us, but I wonder if it's completely different. Because I also heard that some people say that their senior year is really relaxed, or maybe someone said senior year isn't relaxed. I don't know. I'm not really quite sure. Maybe
But
something that
you got a lot of the teachers and the parents going like senior year is going to be the year that they can no longer like affect this, but they've still got they're only in the first half of the sophomore year, so they've got a whole other half of the year. Plus they
maybe
have their entire junior year.
maybe this is like the year that they need to get stuff done. Like this is the year that they need to like if they do it now they can get it in, but if they do it later they won't get be able to get some stuff in, some things like
But
that.
I feel bad for a lot of the students because it kind of feels like make or break of like I'm either going to go to college or I'm not going to college and there's no in between.
Mm.
And that's really like kind of scary to think about because I mean we were in that position at one point too going like what am I doing with my future and like
I'm still like
I
that, let's
still
be
don't know what I'm
honest.
doing with my future, let's be
Mm.
honest. And but like you can kind of like see the panic in their eyes. They're all scrambling, and I feel bad for them because it's like so much weight is put on it, almost to the point like even the parents are getting involved in it, and that's crazy. It's just I don't know. It's just mass chaos. But I feel really bad for them, especially the ones who don't really have good padded
Mm.
reports, whatever you want to call them. So I feel bad for them.
Yeah, me too. And actually, I watched this episode without any subtitles because I love this show so much. And while I was watching it, there's a scene where Unho gets rushed into the hospital, and I'm like, oh my god, why is she in the hospital? Like, is she okay? And also, all the teachers show up, and I'm like, what? Wait. And then I suddenly realized she wasn't freaking out. It wasn't like she was in grave danger or whatever. She literally was just like pretending that she was dying because her student evaluation was so bad, and I'm like, this episode, no, this show is so extra right now, and I was like, stop it.
They're
So
like, she has too many demerit points. We can't operate on her. I'm
yeah,
like, what is this?
but I know that there are some like where we are. I know that you can work yourself up, like at least like in the culinary field, if you can start from dishwasher and end up as executive chef. And I know in some places like that, but you do need a degree for some things, like for some jobs. But in reality, I don't know. Getting a degree is awesome, but in the end, they do put you in debt unless you're very rich.
Which
But
I am
yeah,
not. Neither one of us are. So,
no, one day I will be.
in the
Because
future,
in the
either we're gonna
future,
hit the lottery or like someone's gonna sponsor us. Hopefully,
yes. Send me to Korea and all my. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, dude. But
I want to go to Korea.
I know Sam's more prepared to go to Korea, and I've been a K-pop fan and a K-drama fan since like 2011, 2012. And
And this marks 1 year for me.
Sam already knows I'll speak like Korean. I'm just like, hola,
Strong
komasta.
language.
I'm being sarcastic, honestly. Um,
I know.
but the next thing I want to talk about is I like how Taewoon is. I don't know why he's always by her, but he's like on his motorcycle or she's on her bike and she calls her Oppa and she's like, "Hey, Oppa, like I forgot why she called him, but I think it was to get extra help for this competition or to get some help with art." And he's like, "Oh, I'm backpacking." She's like, "You're backpacking?" And he's like, "Yeah, with my girlfriend." And she's like, "What? You have a girlfriend?" And Taewoon's over there like smirking, like he's
I know
so
it's
happy.
great.
He's so happy that he doesn't have a girl. He has a girlfriend now. She's like, yes, like you like don't go by that kid. You're mine, pretty much. And I don't know. I love that scene. And that was really funny.
I think he felt like almost like he won something because now he has like less competition.
Unless Davey pops out of nowheres.
I don't think Davey's gonna pop out of
I
nowhere.
hope not. I don't want to go
It
to Triangle.
it when him and his girlfriend were on the bus and like that smile he gave her when he saw her and everything. I don't think like unless something bad happens at some point, I don't think that connection's actually gonna end up happening. It might. I don't know. We've got a long ways to go.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
know. What's the next thing, Sam?
okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is Daehui going to that consultation because that was rigged. It was rigged
Yeah.
10 times and a half. So, what's his face? I can never remember his name, but
He-chan?
Hee-chun. So Hee-chun and
Yeah,
his mom
He-chan.
are they're doing the consultation for the school evaluations and all of that. And the time is up, and the mother decides to hand an envelope and says, I'll pay you for 10 more minutes, and kind of like ushers Daehui in. And so the woman's going through basically like, oh, you're top of the class, that's great, but like, you don't have enough merits and you don't have enough competitions, you don't have enough, you don't have enough, you don't have enough. There's no way you're getting into Seoul University, there's no way you're getting into Korea University, like you're never gonna get into college, which is bull because he is friggin' smart and I'm sure he's won like tons of competitions.
And also on top of that, he's the class president.
Right. I mean, it's not like he's not done anything, but after that, after like he's been beat down and down and down, the mother, Hee-chun's mother, ends up asking him to grab the bag and handing it to the consultant. And like then they have like this whole conversation, like super buddy buddy, and I'm like, there is something sketchy about that. Like
Yeah.
that it's just not right.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that was like not only I'm going to pay you for 10 more minutes, but I'm going to pay you to make this kid feel awful about himself because my son needs to be better off. And I believe this episode too, they end up having a conversation, Hee-chan and his mom, about a
Mm-hmm.
math competition that's coming up
Yes.
and how he needs to beat Daehui in something, and number two is basically losing, which is bull because number two is not losing. Okay,
Yeah. No.
like number two could be like tenths of a point any which way.
Yeah, I
So
know,
you know
agree.
what?
My thing is, I felt like it was kind of sad how Daewoo was standing outside the glass taking notes while listening to Hee-chun's advisor. And I don't know if it's just me, but like she literally spoke. The lady when they brought in Davy, it literally was like 5 minutes. She was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, you suck at this, this, and this," and he's like, "Well, what did I do to?" And he's like, "Yep, time's over. You're done." And I was like, it made me so frustrated because I was like, Davy's so smart. He's the top of his class. He's class president. He won all these competitions. Why isn't he being taken serious? Because he doesn't have money. And like I don't know, like there was like no way for Davy to get like advice in while Cho of course is bribing the lady, and it made my stomach turn. And to be honest, I wouldn't be upset if Davy helped Taemoon and become another like ex person. And in a way, I understand now why he stole the test in the end because no one plays fair anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, next thing I want to talk about is the fact that I like how the marshmallow teacher, Mr. Shim, is trying to stand up for his students. The other teachers don't care about the students with lower grades or with demerits or the bad students, and they want him to give more attention to the better grades or the students with better grades. At the time, I wasn't sure what student evaluations is, but we just kind of talked about it, so I kind of get it more.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the fact, like, I hated the fact that when Anho walked into the teacher's lounge, that when the teacher was talking to Bitna, and they were like, "Oh," she's like, "Is there another art competition since I entered this one?" Blah blah blah, and Anho gets annoyed because Anho is like, "I could have entered that competition. I couldn't do well in that art competition, but you didn't give me the proper, like, you didn't let me join it because you." Uh, Basically discriminating against her, and the teacher was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, even if you entered it, you wouldn't be able to go to college anyways. And I like that you get two total opposites. Like, here's Mr. Shim fighting for his students, believing in his students, even the bad students, and then here is teacher another teacher who's like, even if you did win this competition, it wouldn't mean anything to you at all. And it's kind of fair because, like, unfair. And although I'm really glad that she stood up for herself and told the teacher that all their lives are precious, just because they have lower grades doesn't mean that they're bad people or they shouldn't be given the same choices with those with like better grades.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what do you want to
Yeah,
talk
I
about?
felt that, like, I mean, the teacher kind of gave a cop out because he's like, I sent the information, like, not really, but like, and you could see the teacher across from him kind of like, did you love the face he made after she, like, told him off? It was, like, the best face in the
Yeah,
entire
and also
world.
love how the older teacher, I forgot his name. What's the older teacher's name? I don't remember. But how it was Koo Young Koo. He was like, his face was like, Like he was gonna explode, like the older guy with gray hair. I was like, calm down.
But
Um,
he was like impressed almost. It was kind of funny, and he's like, "Okay, like good for you. You stood up for yourself." Like
mm,
pointing,
mm,
like. But I mean, it's messed up because not everything is based on grades. It is, but it isn't. And I mean, I don't know how colleges work in Korea, but I mean, like if you go to art school in the United States, like your biology grade doesn't really matter that much. Like they still want you to have decent grades so they know you can study, but it's like they evaluate you based on what the field you're trying to go into.
yeah.
So they would look more at your art grade than your biology grade. So it's like there's got to be like not necessarily exceptions, but schools that accept students based on their talent and their abilities versus just the grades they got too.
I'm sure there are too. I think this is just a drama, so it's like gonna be over dramatic. Because I
Yeah.
know, like obviously I went to culinary school, and so they didn't look at my English. I mean, well, they didn't look at my English, but they didn't pay attention to like my grades. They mostly paid attention to like because I had to go and try out to be in the college. I don't know if I told you that. Like you have to go and you have to cook and you have to show them that you actually have skills. Then they accept you. And plus,
Mm.
culinary school is fucking hard because you can get kicked out so easily for being 15 minutes early, or if you're less than 15 minutes early, you're considered late and you get sent home. And 3 times you get sent home, then you are kicked out of school. Is that crazy? So crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Mine was just GPA. You had to hold a certain average the entire time. I there was a couple classes I was like right there.
really, ugh.
Yeah, it was chemistry. Oh, I was so bad at science. So bad at science.
What's the last thing you want to talk about?
So the last thing that I want to talk about is the flashback. So in this, we're getting a lot of flashbacks.
Mm.
So in this flashback, we see Taewoon's been taken to the hospital, and he, the nurse comes in to take his food, and it sounds like she has to punch in a code. So I'm wondering if he's like being locked in or something like that.
I think it was.
And he ends up like going toward Jungi. What's his friend's name? Jungi.
His friend's name. Sorry, I'm looking at my list. I don't remember. It was like Lee. I want to say it was like. They don't have it on this list. Oh no!
Hold on. I have it. Un momento, por favor. No. Oh gosh, notes. So many notes. Why? These episodes are so long. Well, they're an hour long, but when you
Yeah.
get two sets of them, it's a lot of information. Let's just put that one out there. Picking only three things to talk about is ridiculous, but at the same time, we wanted to like bring down the amount of time it takes for us to get through these. Junki is his friend's name. So, um, their Junki's funeral is going on at the hospital, but it's just his grandmother and Daehui who are there, and Taewoon actually ends up showing up, but not after the grandmother ends up getting handed an envelope. So I don't know if that's money or like a letter or the family getting written
It's
off.
money. It's money.
And the grandmother basically says we're going to bury him tomorrow so he can go up and live happy in heaven sooner. And I felt really bad because all she wanted to do is just one last time like bring him around the school, because she ends up telling Daehui that like whenever he opened his mouth it was always Daehui and Taewoon, and they're the reason why he wanted to stay in school instead of quit and all of that. And I mean, I just, you could, like, we don't have a lot of character development with that friendship, but at the same time, you can, like, feel the emotion in it. And I was crying. I don't cry that much.
Me
I
too.
was in tears. I felt like, and then I was even in more tears when, Taewoon was begging his father, on his knees, begging his father to let him just go. And the father just brushed him off. And he was like, I'll be better. Like, I'll do good things. I'll follow your rules, like whatever. Just let him do this one thing. And his father just kind of walked away. And I think that's kind of the seed of resentment that's kind of planted at that point. I think we're kind of like seeing why he's kind of against his father so much, and I think that gives him a little more um what's the word I'm looking for? Like reasoning to be X, I guess.
Yeah.
Motivation to be X.
Because before this, I was like, he's not X. But then after watching this episode, I was like, okay, I understand why you want to be X. Because I'd be doing the same exact thing. I'd be like, boy, like, no. Um, but I also agree. It made me cry a lot. I hated that scene. It made me cry more than him actually dying. I don't know if that's like really bad to say, but it made me really upset. And I don't know,
I
like,
also want to put a side note in. Can we talk about the ugly cries in this? Because nobody
I
cries pretty.
love my
They
ugly
ugly
cries.
cry so much. It's so great. Like they're just they don't even care. It's not like pretty crying, like tears going out. Like it is a full emotional
Well,
ugly cry.
they just lost their best friend. I'm
I
pretty
know, and
sure
no,
if
I'm
you
saying
die,
I'm
Sammy,
I'm glad
crying.
about it.
Oh, you're glad that they're actually like not caring about
Yeah.
them looking pretty. Yeah, I appreciate that too. Show real emotions. But also, I really hope, even though I feel like Taemoon and Davy have so much ego, but I hope that they can be friends again one day. And I think they will in this drama. I really do. I think that's the last thing that you have to say, and I already said on mine. So, do you want to give your final thoughts, or?
Um, I love this drama. I do. It's such a good drama. I really haven't found too many issues with it, which has been really nice. I appreciate the kind of like I thought at the beginning it was going to be more like X and his shenanigans, but I really like the kind of like political environment they're kind of giving us and the like ins and outs of the difficulty of being a Korean high school student.
Mm,
Uh, because their experience is it's not a complete 180, but it's very different from our experience from an American high school. There are similarities, but there's a lot of
I
differences.
mean, we didn't really have a lot of pressures to study, like, and that's the big thing. Like, I mean, our teachers. That's it was a few years back, but I definitely think our teachers they didn't really care in some aspects. Like it wasn't like, yeah, I do good in school, but it's not like this huge like we didn't have helicopter moms or I didn't, and I'm pretty sure you didn't either. Of course our parents want us to do well, but it wasn't like our parents are going to all these meetings and harassing our teachers and stuff like that. High school was difficult, fun, and sometimes really complicated.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad they're kind of portraying like the complicated. I mean, I know it's a drama. It's like amped up to like level 10 in all of this, but I really appreciate the complicatedness of it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I speak English well. But like how complicated everything is and like the intricacies and kind of you get to see different perspectives of where the students are, and I really enjoy that too because nobody's perfect in this. They all have their skeletons in their closets.
Exactly. So I don't know why. It just hit me now, but I kind of hate how that Unho was only going to a really nice school because I'm assuming it was a really nice school for a boy. I don't know. I kind of wish that she found out that the guy had a girlfriend and that she was like, you know what, I'm still gonna go to this college. I still want to be go to a good school, but she's like, as soon as she found out, she's like, I don't really want to go to that school anyways. Like I was like, no. I guess she doesn't body a teenage girl being crazy because I'm sure I'd be the same way in some aspects. Actually, no. I'm so shy in high school with boys. I don't think I'd be the same way. But uh I also like how Dewi helped Unho and was like, "You should draw a web series because you missed the art competition." And she's like, "You draw me well." And then she's like, "Have you like?" She's like, I forget what she said, but it's something
Have
along
you
the
ever
lines
seen
like,
my drawings or something
and
like that?
he's like, let's go this way. Like, I love that. And I was like, oh my god, you're so like,
Well, he gave her
understand.
like blind confidence, I guess. He was like, "You
Yeah,
draw well, like yeah, it'll work." Like he's really like a cheerleader. He's like, "You could
yeah.
do it, like anybody could do it." But I think he's kind of cheering her on because she made him feel better about his life and like the possibilities of him going to school too. So
Yeah, and I also like the fact that he cheered her up as a friend, not as a love interest, and I hope that he doesn't end up as a love interest. I also like the fact that when she found out that Taewoon was ex, she didn't hate him right away, and it wasn't like I hate you and so much angst throughout the rest of the episode. It was like you're not ex, okay, maybe you are ex. I forgive you. It's okay. I understand where you're coming from. It wasn't like I hate you, like it wasn't anything like that, which I appreciate. Um, so, uh, Also, another thing I want to talk about is I like how Taewoon and Dae don't get along whatsoever. They're like, we hate each other, blah blah. But as soon as Hee-chun was basically saying that that this math quiz or math competition was already like places already figured out, and that Dae studies and missed like and all his work is going to shit, and that he's stupid for not knowing his place. I love the fact that Taewoon looked at him and was like, "Yeah, you really are how you were before," and you're like, I probably called him like I think he called him like arrogant or something like that. Not very nice word when you say that. But I like the fact that he's, even though Davey doesn't see it, he does stand up for his friend, even though he doesn't show it.
Hmm.
I'm really loving the show, and since we're basically 6 episodes in, I have no complaints right now. I actually really enjoy the show. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this discussion video of me and Sam, and we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye! Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please feel free to give it a like. If you would like, you can subscribe to our channel. And if you want to check out our last week's discussion video, click somewhere on the screen because it will be somewhere up here. And we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye. Not really bye, but bye.